Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dragon Talk. How is it going? I am Greg Tito, and I'm joined by Miss Shelley Mazanoble.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. It's totally throwing me.
That you can see yourself now? I know, it's amazing.
Oh,
we also have two fantastic guests here on the line with us. From Girls Guts Galore, we have Kelly Lynn D'Angelo. Hello.
Hello, how do you do it? It's good to see you guys. Kind of like this is amazing. I'm so stoked to be here.
Me too. We're stoked to
Look
hear,
at this
and
little
we're
royal
very excited that Rachel
Rachel.
is preparing for the
Hello.
royal
Are
wedding.
you excited for the
Hello.
royal wedding?
I'm getting into character from Moira. I'm a noblewoman. I need my
nice.
princess wave.
It's working. It's
Very
working really well.
good.
Thank you. I try.
I turn my hand too much, and I just go too.
That's
Yeah.
single ladies,
Yeah.
Greg. This is single ladies. That's too fun.
Oh, that's where it came from.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I got to put a ring on it. Welcome. You guys are, of course, from Girls Guts Glory. Rachel, you've been there from the get-go. Girls Guts Glory get-go. And then, Kelly, you have taken over as Dungeon Master, which has been super awesome for the last season, I guess, right? The last story that you guys did?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm getting about to the year mark, so it's pretty exciting. So
is exciting.
getting about there.
It's crazy. We are talking to you guys because you guys are going to be at the Stream of Many Eyes, which is happening on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the city of Los Angeles. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to unveil the new storyline for Dungeons & Dragons there. It's the 3-day streaming extravaganza. Lots of costumes, lots of sets, lots of...
Food? ...
things I can't... Oh, yeah, food. Yeah, there's definitely going to be food there. I think.
Come on.
Well, it's for 3
hope
days.
so.
I think people will start to get a bit
I
peckish.
know. I'm like, you got to work on the food.
If there was no food.
Yeah.
They might be upset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, we're excited about that. You guys will be doing a session on Saturday on June 2nd. Is that right?
Very exciting.
Yeah, correct.
Are you excited to have your stream debut here, Kelly, as Dungeon Master?
I'm stoked. I'm also stoked for the fact, you know what, I sound like I belong on the West Coast now because now I use the word stoked. I'm actually from upstate New York. So first and foremost, I'm stoked.
I'm from
that I'm
upstate New
stoked.
York.
Yeah, I'm from Rochester and
I'm
Buffalo
from
and
Binghamton.
Syracuse.
I-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Look at that.
I was
That's
born
incredible.
in Syracuse, and my wife lived in Rochester for a very long time. This is crazy. And
I
yet,
I lived in Baltimore.
That
That's not
counts.
related.
that's not that far.
East Coast.
It's the East Coast.
East Coast represent.
It's amazing.
I used to do all my school shopping in Syracuse because you had a really good mall there.
Medley Center, what, and apparently it's pretty great now. I haven't been back for a pretty moon, but it's really exciting just to have been like doing a bunch of stuff in upstate New York, and then came out here, and I work in LA, and then to be a part of, you know, Girls Guts Glory now. It's kind of like incredible. It's kind of like a dream come true, simply stated, and it's exciting to be able to kind of like have everybody at the same table. Like we're gonna
Right.
have all the girls there. And I've been, you know, lucky enough to play with them all, but they're all so busy that we haven't really been able to sit down as a full unit. And so I'm, as I said, stoked.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what Sujata looks like. I don't remember. It's been so long since we've seen her.
It's a big black hole now.
How did
but
this
that-
work out that everybody was available at the same time? It's like some
Magic.
cosmic forces.
It is
at
magic.
work.
The planets aligned and the stars said, you know what? Go ahead for one day.
For one day, you can all be together.
I like
That's
it.
all you get.
I like it. I like that everyone is finally doing it all in one place.
Yep.
For now, we'll wait until some other gig pops up from one of you. That always seems to happen.
There cannot
Yeah.
possibly
Or, I
be
mean,
anything
if,
better.
like, half their characters die, I mean, then there's that as well.
Wow.
Kelly, no.
That might be your fault.
No.
I don't know.
No, Kelly. Don't do this to me.
Don't tease that quite.
Not live. Not live.
Kelly regrets
awful.
everything. She regrets everything that she just reveals.
Yeah, but it's awesome to be, because we've all been playing, and a lot of them, you know, had been friends beforehand, and then I met them, and just sparks flew, and now they're like some of my closest friends. I was with
Aw.
Rachel yesterday. We were playing, and she runs incredible campaigns too, and so it's just exciting for us to all be underneath one roof together. So I'm really looking forward to that weekend.
Me too. And there's going to be just nonstop D&D excitement from everyone. The D&D team will be there. So we got Chris Perkins, Mike Merles, Kate Welch, and Jeremy Crawford, as well as Nathan Stewart, who will be touring through all of the things when we start on June 1st at 4 p.m. Pacific time, right here on twitch.tv/DND. It's going to be great. And I can't wait to tell everyone about the storyline that we've been hinting at and you guys know about and we all know about in this room, but none of you listening know about.
Nope.
It's pretty exciting.
I don't know anything.
I do feel like it must have been like somebody over there knew exactly what to give me. And so when I got the story that I'm going to be telling, I was like, yes, like this is so my wheelhouse. So I'm pretty excited, Miss Rachel, for you to see this story with Moira.
Oh my gosh, I love that we got like a Hollywood Squares thing going on where you're
know.
looking down
Yes.
and Rachel
Or like
is
the Brady
there.
Bunch.
Please no.
Wait, we have to turn to this side. You two are great. I love it.
So Rachel, do you not know? You know things, but not all the things, or
I know some things.
okay.
I know some of what she knows, but she knows more than what I know. We're a very knowing family, as Shakespeare says. I only know half. I'm not allowed to know the whole.
No, but
This
you
makes
will.
sense because you're playing. You
Yeah.
don't want to necessarily be spoilt before
It's
it happens.
a lot of secrets.
That's right. You guys will be, well, I guess, Rachel, you'll be in costume, I believe, right, as Moira.
Yes, I will.
What about you, Kelly? Will you be in costume as Dungeon Master number 5? Or?
I'm always in costume. Yeah, I mean the girls, like, I am definitely like a tomboy, so it's nice to have all the girls who are very good with makeup and costume kind of do me up and put on cool horns. And I got my hair dyed.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
It's real nice.
It's purpley.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was a reflection or if that was actual your hair color. I like it.
Yeah, it's a real hair. It's a real deal, real
Nice.
steel. It's actually Seeley blue, so real deal, real steel. And it was very expensive, so thank you for noticing.
Nice. It looks good.
Yep.
You can get some hair tips from Satine Phoenix, who will
Yes.
be there on stream. She
was
here.
giving out hair tips. I heard her.
She was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And eyeliner
About
tips,
how-
and I missed
Oh
those.
my God! Seriously.
The two of them, they were like, I always wanted to ask, and then they were like, it just like, what I'm talking about is Kate Welch and Satine Phoenix having a makeup and or accentuant things. I'm like you, Kelly, where I don't know as much about these things, but it was just nice being there and seeing it all happen and being like, oh God, I'm so glad that there's this melding of minds occurring.
Yeah,
About
Satine
important
is just a mermaid, a magical mermaid
She is.
woman.
She's like
and
a
so
unicorn mermaid.
Yep. Absolutely. And it's her birthday soon. It's her birthday Tuesday?
Oh my gosh, really? Tomorrow?
Yeah. Oh my God, that is tomorrow. At least we're celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Her birthday is soon. So, on air, happy birthday, Satine.
Happy
birthday,
Satine. I love that. We'll have to give her some high fives virtually. Those of you guys who are listening to this podcast, it'll be in the past, but you know how it goes.
Still give her the high five.
Still, everybody loves to get a happy birthday, even if it's, weeks late. I think it's fine. Totes. So we got lots of fun things for everybody who is in the LA area. If you would like to come to the Stream of Many Eyes, you can actually do that. It is on Sunday. You'll be able to take a tour of the amazing sets, see the very place where you guys will have been played and will be playing.
Yeah, well, they could have been played.
You
too,
could have been
depending
played.
on
You never
Kelly,
know.
I guess.
Yes, exactly.
Depends on the way Kelly takes our campaign.
we'll see.
That's
All
the better way to
depends
put
on-
it.
Been played.
And then, so yeah, we got 4 groups going on Sunday. You can watch them. One of them is Jox Machina, which is super fun. All of the Travis and Willingham from Critical Role, as well as Joe Manganiello, and some special guests that are going to be pretty exciting, I think, for many people who like wrestling. It might be really exciting.
Is
Deborah,
it John Cena?
it is totally John Cena.
Is it The Undertaker?
It is also The Undertaker.
Okay, The Undertaker's the only one I care about.
I
so.
think there's going to be someone cosplaying half John Cena, half Undertaker, and then The Rock in the back, I think.
Perfect. Excellent. Yes.
All
Those
those
are
things.
the 3 wrestlers I know.
See? So that's happening. Then there's also Deborah Ann Wall is going to be dungeon mastering in the game, which I am super excited about seeing the story that she will have. Some two amazing cast members from Critical Role will be in that game.
Is this her first live stream DMing?
That is correct.
Oh my goodness.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
Yeah. And
brave.
Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray will be playing in that game, which I'm super excited about, as well as two other fantastic actors that you can check out on the Dungeons & Dragons website. And then Dice Camera Action will be performing live as well. So
All together.
I don't know, Rachel, if your character will make a guest appearance there or not. Your Veggie Pygmies might. Who knows? We'll have to see. Miranda might make
Show up at like the last second and go, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
Hey, whatever.
Oh God. Yeah, who knows?
I love that. That'd be fantastic. But all of them will be there in costume. I think that's the first time that all 4 cast members will be there in costume together. So that's pretty exciting.
Cool. It's like a big reunion for
big
lots
reunion.
of groups coming
Yeah.
together.
Reunion. So
Yeah.
obviously we have to keep it going every single year until the world ends.
Exactly. We'll just keep going. So that's only like one more year, right? Two
Our
more
family
years?
reunion. Yeah.
It depends on which world we're talking about. Are we talking about the metaphorical D&D Forgotten Realms? Are we talking about everyone? What are we talking about?
Each world
We're making
will end eventually.
All the worlds slowly.
Yes. Yeah. When you just snap your fingers and half of them will be destroyed. So there's that one. And then there's, of course, the game that Mark Holmes is going to be dungeon mastering with 3 other cast members from Critical Role will be on there, including Sam Riegel, Taliesin Jaffe, and a special guest. I'm not gonna reveal it right now.
Keto.
I just wanted to make sure you all got that anticipation there. It's gonna be awesome.
Got it.
So, again, all 4 of those are games that you can buy tickets to right now. Go check out dnd.wizards.com/SOME for all that information. You can buy all the tickets there. It's pretty exciting. And we're going to be talking more about Stream of Many Eyes, but I want to make sure you guys got all that juicy info going on there. But we also have this other new book coming out that we need to talk about, which is called Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. Do you guys know about this?
Yes. I don't have one.
It shall be coming soon.
Very excited for it. It looks incredible.
Pay the piper. It does look really good. I love all the new monsters. We've been showing them off here on the streams here. Shelley, you did fantastically playing as the what was your we were the drow?
No, it was a
The Gith Yankee.
right Supreme Commander.
Yes.
I won it all.
You won it all.
Like through Sean Woods, but
Right, but you that first round was touch
he
and
wouldn't
go.
have gotten to the end if I didn't win the first round.
That's true. Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't.
you like let it off. You were like, "Hello," and then you're like, "All right, I'll let someone else take over, I guess, since I did all the heavy lifting."
I got no credit.
You got all the credit in my book on this podcast, very much so. So yeah, that's coming out on May 18th in game stores. You can get 2 covers.
May 18th.
May 18th, which is
That's 4 days.
very soon. Very soon. And in preparation for that release in game stores, we've been doing a Podcasts of Foes. So that is nearly 24 different podcasts from the audio live play community have been putting together little one-shots based on lore and monsters from Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. I suggest you go check it out. It is on a different RSS feed than Dragon Talk. It's on Dungeon Delve. You can get that pretty much everywhere you get podcasts, but we have put up a lot of content there for you to take in and to get excited about different parts of Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. So I can't list them all here. You should go to dnd.wizards.com/MTOF as well to find out all about that book and the Podcasts of Foes crew. Huge shout out to everyone who created these amazing things, as well as Victoria Rogers from The Broadswords, who had the idea to put this all together. So very thanks to her. She's been working a lot, and so we like to pour out a few drinks of water for her. Thank you. I just poured it onto my laptop, which is now broken.
I've done it before.
It happens, right? You think you're being dramatic, and then all of a sudden you pour it out, and it's,
That's just not funny anymore.
You are dramatic. I mean, I guess it actually is
Do you
pretty
like-
dramatic.
Do you like my
The most
water
dramatic,
bottle?
arguably.
Yeah, right. It's a death. It's a death of a thing that you see in front of you. Also coming on is Dark and Dicey, which is a new group here on the twitch.tv/DND family. They're starting tonight as we record this, but that's Monday, May 14th for those of you listening, 7 p.m. Pacific time. It is Nate Sharp, who is known as Paulton on Dice Camera Action. He is starting up a new group forming from a lot of his friends. Dungeon Master KG Tang is doing a fantastic job of wrangling all them. They're being really, really good, and they're also going to be performing at the Stream of Many Eyes on that Saturday, June 2nd. So that's pretty exciting. You'll be able to see them there, but you'll get a little sneak peek in these, I guess, 3 episodes before we kick them off for the Stream of Many Eyes. So go check that out tonight and or every Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Great cast. They're good folks. You should do it. Last announcement before we get to our segment and then to the meat of the interview. But we are working with a group, the Lambert House, to sell T-shirts that have the Dungeons & Dragons ampersand in rainbow form, as well as the Magic the Gathering symbol in rainbow form, to get everybody having a awesome T-shirt for Pride Week that's coming out. All this is going towards charity. Lambert House is empowering youth through the development of leadership, social, and life skills by offering more than 20 programs, activities, resources, and services on an ongoing basis. And it all goes to support LGBTQ youth community. It's really awesome. We've raised, I think this is not even accurate anymore, but when it was accurate, more than 3,000 D&D T-shirts have been sold, raising more than $40K, going directly to 3,700. Pelham tells me we're up to 3,700. 50K has been raised so
love
far.
Our community.
So that's really amazing. I love the shirt. Every time I wear it, I get compliments from people. So if you are looking for the hot summer item to wear, this might be it. You can do it too. So go check it out. If you're looking for where that is, I'm just going to read the link for those of you who are audio. It's at customink.com/fundraising/Lambert_DND or MTG if you're looking for the magic one. Good stuff happening there. All right, so lots of fun stuff happening in Dungeons & Dragons world, but everybody should be focused on the Stream of Many Eyes as it's coming out June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. You can watch it all here on twitch.tv/DND. I am going to throw it to an amazing segment. What do you guys want to hear about in the lore? It's going to be, I don't have it here in front of me, but it is going to be really exciting and might have to do with the story that's coming up next, or it might not. It might be a red herring. I don't even know. Just throwing that out there. What do you think?
Red herring.
Yeah, it's probably a red herring. It might be.
I think so.
Yeah, knowing Perkins and Cernit.
Yeah, and also what Jeremy said today.
About spoiling?
And
Yeah.
They're just full of tricks.
They got lots of tricks.
You can't
it's
trust
true.
them.
All right.
Trust them.
So I can't think of a better way to segue into the segment with that. So pay attention. Maybe you'll learn something.
Or maybe you won't.
Or maybe you won't. We'll never know. We leave no stone unturned here at D&D.
No promises. No promises given.
Let's roll that segment.
What about the bing and the bong?
Oh, yeah, we got the bing. Yeah, that bing. That's usually the cue for the bing and the bonging.
Too late now.
Damn it!
No bing.
No bings, no bongs. We're just going to go right back to the interview. We like to pretend that we just listen to the segment, even though we never do. Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't.
It's almost always like, oh yeah, wasn't that great?
So good.
Did you guys like that? Wasn't that really fun to listen to?
Oh man, I could listen to it again.
Let's listen to it right now again.
Over and over.
Oh, it was better the second time. It was so great. You're totally going to use that in your game, aren't you, Kelly?
Oh yeah, in every game.
Whoa, it was that good. It's going to be used in every session. That's amazing.
Yeah, I really liked the good part of it, and I liked the scary part too.
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't like the not so good part, but then they went right back to the good part right after that. Which
And when
was
he
like,
said that thing, and it was like, oh my God. I can't believe you
amazing.
said that.
right?
I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah.
So good.
was
I like
so
when the
good.
thing happened and then the other thing came in.
Oh
and
my
then,
God.
that went right.
That thing blew my mind.
It was incredible.
I know.
I
It just
was
reminds
choking
us
back
in the
tears.
end, we're all just human.
Yep.
Really, that's just what
We're all just in this together, really.
Yeah,
true.
man.
I actually
It
feel
really
closer to you
is-
guys.
Yeah, it made me
We went through some
remember,
shit.
you do what you do, and that's all you got. Really, it's powerful.
We came through. We came through. So this
stronger.
I think we just got the A-team. I think we just formed the A-team after all of the harrowing experiences that we went through. So if you need something and you can find us, you can hire the B-team.
The D team.
The D team.
The D team.
The D team.
B is a little.
D team.
Get it, the D&D team. Oh my God, that's so good.
Oh my God.
There's got to be a trade.
You're welcome.
Rachel, that's
Legal.
why.
Legal. Clear that.
That's why we pay you the big bucks. Yeah, get the trademarks going on
Come
that
on,
one.
Marty. Clear it
I
up.
like how you said that like you're like a king. Clear it.
Clear it.
Team. Clear it.
Legal team.
I declare. All right, so you guys are from Girls Guts Galore. We already mentioned that. Rachel, you've been playing Moira for a very long time. And Kelly, you've been dungeon mastering for also a very long time. But for folks who may not know about what Girls Guts Galore is all about, Rachel, why don't you give us like the quick formation story of coming together, and then we'll get everybody up to speed from there.
Well, a bunch of actresses were like, hey, let's play some D&D. And we wanted to originally make just a silly short of it. And then we went, why don't we just actually play some D&D? So this group of girls just started playing D&D, and then we filmed it because we're all actresses and that's where we're comfortable. And then it took off from there.
One thing led to another, right? You put it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we got in contact, and now we're all friends. Right, Greg? We're friends.
We're totally friends. No, it's true. It is so funny how it happened, though, right? It was just like, oh, yeah, there's this awesome YouTube. I think you guys had a webpage, too, that was really well-designed enough to be like, oh, yeah, no, these guys are professional. They know what they're doing.
Yeah. We are good at looking like we know what we're doing, which is really, what adulthood is about.
That's what me and Shelly have been doing pretty much this whole time.
Yep. Maybe not knowing exactly what you're doing, but as long as you can.
We know nothing.
Yeah.
We got Ryan and Pelham to just guide us through this.
They know way more than we do. That's
all that matters. So how was the D&D connection discovered between the group? Like, did you all know that each other played, or was it kind of unearthed?
Actually, a lot of the girls didn't play until we had our first campaign. For a lot of our girls, the Girls Guts Glory campaign was the first campaign, and it was a situation where a couple of them had been like, nah, I don't know if I, feel comfortable leaning into this so heavily. But because it was with friends, we said, yeah, why not? Let's go into it. And like Erica and I knew D&D pretty well, so we were able to take some hands and go, yeah, follow me. Let's go into this thing together. Yeah. So for the most part, it's a lot of the girls' first time playing D&D.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I thought was super exciting about it, because it was indicative of the story that we wanted to tell with Dungeons & Dragons, which was you don't need to have this exhaustive knowledge of 40 years of D&D history to just jump in and really get something super fulfilling from playing, right? And so that narrative of you guys just finding it and jumping onto it was exactly what we wanted to show. And you guys didn't have to do anything differently. We're just like, oh, yeah, you guys, let's just put a spotlight on, hey, you can jump in at any time, at any point in your life. Doesn't matter who you are, what you look like, just play D&D.
Absolutely. And when we started off, Kim Hidalgo, who plays Fauna, our little cleric, was our DM, and she had never DM'd before. She jumped right into the fire of it to lead us into it.
Now, was she new to D&D as well?
Absolutely.
And she
new.
just said, I'm going
played.
to DM on this live stream.
Yep. I think she hadn't understood then how difficult it is to DM, and she just went, I'm going to do it. But Kim's the type of person, she's such a type A, where if she sets her mind to something, she's going to be the best at it, period.
She's so
like
smart.
A short amount.
She's so smart.
Yeah. But she definitely does. Yeah, like you can see, like, all right, she's going to go all in and figure out exactly the ins and the outs. But she was, it was hard to stream. I think that's always a very difficult leap to take, where it's, when you guys were shooting to tape, you could edit out if there were, anything that you didn't want to be shown. It was a lot easier. So, but when you were doing streaming, it became, all right, it's immediate, like it's theater. Like all of a sudden, it's like you can't just go up for a line in front of a live live audience. It gets a little bit harder. So that she eased into doing that, and I think she did a fantastic job. But then Kelly, how did you find out about what was going on here?
Oh man, it was like almost like a string of like beautiful events, just all kind of coinciding at one focal point. I have always been an avid fan of D&D in the community, and actually I have an interesting background with that, just because I played in high school, and I never DM'd in high school. I just played, and then I desperately throughout college was trying to find people to play with, and then eventually moved out here and still was trying to find people to play with. And I actually was I consume a lot of YouTube. I watch way too much YouTube for a 28-year-old woman, and have been for the last 10 years.
Same.
I was actively looking online. Yeah, I know. Like, I love YouTube. It's a whole thing. I was watching 2 hours of YouTube earlier today at the gym. Like, I gotta stop.
Same.
But
Absolute same.
So it's not the Kinder
like, I
eggs
was
and
always-
and toy videos that is consuming Shelley and Mars' lives right now.
Right.
No.
There's other stuff there too.
No.
What
There's
else
a
is
lot.
on YouTube?
Mine was just tons of Yogg's cast and Game Grumps and like game players. Like, I can't stop watching people play video games. It's like my favorite thing on earth, because it's really story heavy. But then what I was looking for was for, to watch D&D. So if I couldn't play it and find people to play with, at least I wanted to watch it. And so I actually stumbled onto Critical Role because of that within the first month of them streaming. And I'm like, that became like the way for me to talk about it. Like, I suddenly could ask people. It was suddenly not like this, it wasn't in the closet about my passion for it. I could ask somebody, hey, have you seen the show? And they're like, what show? And I'm like, oh, this really cool show. And that then opened the doors for me, not just to talk about D&D, but to be a DM, because so many people wanted to play, but then nobody could DM. So about 3 or 4 years ago, right at the advent of that show, I just started DMing, just took the reins and stopped playing as a character. And as somebody who's, coming from a world of storytelling in Los Angeles, being a television and film writer, I was kind of like, this is actually where I'm most comfortable. And I didn't even realize it. And I come from like a very double-sided brain. Like, I really, really, really like information and computing and logic and logistics and numbers. But then I also really enjoy being creative and reactionary. So it's like the perfect medium. And I had been trying always from when I started playing to like work with a lot of women. I love the guys I play with, but when I started talking to Rachel and Erica about a year ago, we met. And I told them I DM'd, and they like turned towards me in unison. I sometimes think that they are functioning on the same like brainwaves constantly. Rachel, you and Erica are so fun, because like I can say something that the two of you guys react the same way, and
We're the same.
I'll never
person.
forget
I've
that
seen it
moment
happen.
when yeah. And I loved that moment when I mentioned I'm a dungeon master and I wanted to play with you guys, or at least run a game for you. And you both turned towards me in unison and you're like, what? You're a dungeon master? Yes. And that's how it all started. It just started from me being in a room with them and them being totally accepting and like lovely and saying yes. So that was pretty cool.
That is really cool, right? Because you don't always get that thing when you say I'm a dungeon master to someone. It's always like that.
It could
what?
be misinterpreted.
It could be misinterpreted.
Could be.
My father was confused. My father was so confused.
He's like, that's what you did when you went to L.A.?
Should I be proud of you? I don't know.
Upstate New York to L.A.? Did they do that?
They can form a support group with my parents who
Yeah.
are still trying to figure it out as well.
Right. They're like, you make all the games, right, Shelley?
Yeah, so you design. My daughter makes Dungeons and Dragons.
Wait,
Hey.
your dad is like an old Kermit there? That was like an old Kermit.
That is my mom and my dad together.
Wait, do it
That's
again?
what they sound. My daughter designs Dungeons and Dragons. If I'm doing both of them, if I'm just doing my dad, it's my daughter designs Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, okay. So
He
it's like
sounds nothing like that. in
that's
real
like
life.
Grandpa Simpson a little bit
Kind
there.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're getting new characters from Shelley. This is
That's Gecky.
I like him.
that's good stuff.
Yep. So, did you know, Kelly, when you were talking to Rachel and Erica, that they had the stream or the game Girls Guts Glory, or was this just a happy accident?
I actually had heard about them through the community. just through passing, like through dialogue. I hadn't seen it yet, but like a friend of mine, Matt, he was like, "Oh, you got to check out this amazing group of women." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, I will. Like, I love that. Like, more of that, please." And so it was always like actively on my watch list, but then I literally met them a week after that discussion.
Weird.
So it was so
It was meant to be.
serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was super awesome. And I don't even know if you knew that, Rachel.
I did not
I
know.
think this might be news to you.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
You were an almost fan before it happened.
Every time when we still get people, Erica and I, when we get people who say, "Oh yeah, I watch your show," we're both like, "What? What? Me? No." We had a guy. We went to the Renaissance Fair, and we've had a couple of people recognize us and say, "Oh my God, it's Girls Guess Glory." We both go, "Huh? What? No."
That's so weird.
Yes,
That is
that's
crazy.
me. It's so much fun. I love it.
I know. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought it was going to be Dungeons and Dragons that would get you noticed at a Ren Fair?
I'm totally happy with it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
This is like middle school and high school me is so beyond over the moon by the fact that I get to do this. It's bigger and better than anything I ever dreamed of.
That's amazing.
Not to get sappy, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's true for us too, right? Right, Shelley?
This is it. This is the peak of my life right here.
So Kelly, you mentioned you played in high school too. I know, Rachel, we've heard your origin story, I think, before, but we'll recap it a bit. But Kelly, I wanted to find out about what it was like playing when you were in high school. Like, what was your first introduction to Dungeons and Dragons, and what kind of were you already a fan of fantasy to begin with, and this was like the extension of that? Like, how did it go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an escapist by nature. Like when I'm telling people out here, like, what do you write? And I'm always like, anything that isn't real. So like, I'm musicals, I'm animation, I'm fantasy, I'm anything to escape the mundanity of human existence and try to like like extend myself beyond my physical barriers of this like plushy human flesh. And so
Oh no.
actually, like anything like that has been kind of my my mode for a long time. Ever since I was a young child, I was obsessed with musicals and fantasy. And my dad started taking me to the Ren Fair when I was like 3.
Oh, that's
and yeah, I loved that world. And I didn't really know about Dungeons and Dragons. And actually, to be completely frank with you, where I'm from, it was kind of taboo. I come from like a very Christian, hardcore upbringing, and you know, it was kind of like something that I had heard about, but nobody was talking about it. And I was like, what's going on with this? Like, I'm from a small town in upstate New York, and the dialogue started first happening actually in the musical theater world. I was doing a bunch of local community theater, and all the kids were playing it, and I was like, what? Like, musical theater kids playing D&D, this thing that, like, you know, a lot of this stigma, there's like this weird stigma in the community about it. And I was like, ooh, I want to play some D&D. And so my friend, my first dungeon master, I was 14 or 15, I can't remember. And his name's Nick Donovan. Hey, Nick, I don't know if you're watching this.
Shout out to Nick Donovan.
And Nick Donovan. And he had this like beautiful home, and it was just full of all these video games and all these. He was like the person I wanted to become. He was just so rawly himself, and I was envious of that. I was like, I want to be like you, as secure as you, as a 14-year-old kid. And he invited us in to play D&D, and he ran my first campaign. I played like the most stereotypical like girl thing I could, like an elven like ranger named Jewel or something like that. I can't quite remember her name. But like playing that and experiencing his version of storytelling, because he did like a traditional dungeon crawl, but I had never been so scared, and like hearing him describe it and me being able to react to that, it was like the most incredible experience for me. I'll never forget it. And we got to play. He was very busy, so we only played a few times throughout that year, and then a few times after. But like, I wanted, like, that was just, I will never forget my first time. If that makes any sense.
Kind of amazing.
Yeah, it does sound amazing,
because we don't on that guy. Right, I
know, right?
Well, actually, he was one of the only. He was actually out, like, in our community. That was kind of like.
Oh.
interesting. So it was like he was very proud of who he was, and my first dungeon master was a gay man, and it was like it just broke every stereotype you would expect. I was playing with mostly people who were gay in the musical theater community, and it was really magical.
That is
It was really
magical.
For 14, that's really
Yeah.
impressive.
Right?
Where is this guy
Yeah.
now? We got to find
I know,
out.
right? We were joking
Bring
about
him
the
into
shout
the
out to Nick
fold.
Donahue, but now I'm like,
I want
man,
to find Nick Donahue.
Nick Donahue, where are you?
If you're out there, please contact us.
This is when Dragon Talk turns into an episode of This Is Your Life. And I'm like, we have Nick Donahue right here. And he like comes out from under the table.
Talent.
He's calling right now.
Caller, are you there?
Nick, is it you?
That sounds incredible, though, and it
Yeah.
sounds very similar to my experience. Especially, I mean, I came from a Catholic background as well, and every single time
Oh,
I
wow.
mentioned Dungeons and Dragons, my mom was like, it's not okay to say the names of the demons because they know where you are. And I was like, this is a story, right? Like this is all made up. It wasn't to her. It was all very. If you're invoking spells, you're actually doing that in real life. I'm like, the whole conceit of Dungeons & Dragons was very hard to get across. Plus, with all the other, noise of people saying it was, right around the 80s. So there was a lot of people who were, still in the throes of all that. Also about comic books and, heavy metal music. Was also in the same breath of things that will corrupt your soul. But then also like my outlet was doing theater, was going to summer stock theater and kind of being involved in that community. That's where I first met people who were like very openly gay and were okay with it and were very instructive in how to just perform and be people. That was very now sadly those two never went together. Like I never had the musical theater experience and the D&D experience.
You were so close.
I wish that those had that Venn diagram interrupted a little bit more. That would have been awesome. But it's great to hear that someone else at least was like, oh yeah, no, I that was all about opening doors.
Yeah, I had to like secretively do it. Like I was like, Mom, I'm hanging out with my friend Nick, and he's like, oh, she's like, that's great. Yeah, he's got a great family and he's got a hot tub. Have fun in the hot tub. But we did not go into the hot tub. We played Dungeons and Dragons.
That's so funny that someone's like, oh yeah, no, go have fun.
Have fun in the hot tub.
Being,
Here's a bottle of wine.
Exactly. But D&D,
Enjoy. Enjoy at 14 years old.
keep those demons out of it though.
It's funny because my parents both had the same reaction, but it was exactly the opposite of what a lot of people say their parents have done. When I told my parents, I'm learning to play D&D, they both kind of went, oh, that's cool. I always kind of wanted to play. Have fun.
Oh, really?
And they were like, go for it. Because my parents both, my mother used to play in a recorder group at the Renaissance Fair. So we're just a generation after generation of fucking nerd. We're just so nerdy as a family, as a household. And my mother, I grew up reading all these fantasy books, and my mother would read them to me, and they were passed down from my mother. All of my favorite fantasy books are all her favorite fantasy books.
Oh, that's
so it
cool.
was an inheritance of nerddom.
Do they watch your show?
They do. Okay, you want to hear something really cute?
Yes.
My parents have no idea how to work Twitch. I don't know if they're watching, actually. They might be. My dad made a Twitch account so that they could watch our show, so that they could watch Girls Gets Glory. And it's the name on the account is Ray's Career.
That's the only reason why they have it. It's because of your career. Oh, that's so sweet.
That's adorable.
My parents are just adorable.
So if
and
they
they're
ever-
so into it.
Aw.
If they ever are brave enough to go into the chat, we'll know that it's what's happening.
You might see them play eventually. Who
Yeah, I
knows?
was
My
gonna
mom
ask.
is super into it.
I mean,
And
if she introduced you to
She's
all those
ready.
fantasy novels,
Yeah.
I mean, she's
surprised
she's
she hasn't.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Well,
I'll probably-
I remember where I was when I saw my first Girls Guts Glory.
What?
I was in Nathan's office. He
Oh,
was
yeah?
like, come here, you've got to see this. And I was standing over his shoulder, and I was like, these girls are amazing. I was just laughing and loving it and was so impressed with the production and the costumes, and everybody was just so funny and having such a good time. And we know that so many of our new players have come into D&D because of watching people play D&D on Twitch and all. And I think that Girls Guts Glory has been just such a great thing for D&D, because not only are we watching people having so much fun, but like you're all women And it's like, I think that's great for women to see other women playing D&D and just having a really good time with it. So
it takes one person to do something for people to go, oh, maybe it's okay. Yeah, I can do it too.
Yeah.
And if we bring anyone into the D&D community, which is an absolutely incredible and sweet and wonderful community, then I'm done. That's all I need to do for my life. That's great.
Keep doing it. Don't be done. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, right. There's more. There's more.
There's more. But yeah, I mean, because I think probably a lot of people have appreciated what you're doing and seeing it played out. But I just like watching you guys because you're just having fun. It's
so much fun.
Yeah, and Shelley tried to do it by writing a book about it.
I tried. I was like 10 years ahead of my time.
10 years ahead of your time, I know. You were like ahead of the curve. You really were.
I was just telling Liz that today. I'm like, these books were ahead of their time. They're ready to be republished.
Yeah, they totally are.
Right?
Yeah.
Do it.
Confessions of a Part-Time Sorceress.
I'm still a part-time sorceress.
You still are.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're mostly doing Avalon Hill stuff.
Right. Full-time brand manager, part-time sorceress.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff. Are you guys excited about Stream of Many Eyes? What is exciting about it for you?
I'm so excited about everything. I'm excited about stuff I can't talk about.
Right. Good question, Greg.
I know. I'm trying to. What are the things that you can talk about that
Craft
you're excited
services.
about?
Woo!
Craft services. Yes, very excited
That was
about
exciting last year.
That's why we all went to the gym today. That's why we all worked out so hard so we can eat as much
for you,
food as we
Rachel.
possibly can.
Except for me. I went and bought a pastry. Everyone else, like before we started this, everyone else was talking about, I went to the gym. I went to the gym. I went to the gym too. And I was like, I got a croissant. That's what I did today.
I had to pick it up. It was very heavy. I lifted it 3 times.
It's by far the lightest of all the pastries.
Because you ate it in 3
While
bites?
I was eating it, I did some squats. And now I'm going to go work out after this because I feel like I need to.
Because Greg has guilted you into believing you need to.
Not at all. Not at all.
Good job, Greg.
So you're excited about the craft services at Stream Many Eyes. We're excited about seeing everybody again, too. Like you were mentioning, it is kind of like a D&D summer camp a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's right in your neighborhood.
I'm excited to be invited to the summer camp. I was always the loser at the summer camp, so I'm excited to not be.
This is a summer camp for all the kids who ever thought they were losers, and now they're the cool kids, and we're all just having a fun time together.
Yeah.
It's true.
Everyone there is so nice. Every single person in Critical Role is the nicest person. I love them all dearly. I am so excited to get into a room with all of these incredibly kind people and then punch things in the face. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah, all the mean stuff is in your imagination.
Right.
Yes, exactly. Because we're peaceful.
And I'm just excited too to like be sharing a world with so many people and like they're everyone's just such great humans, like you said, Rachel, and storytellers and performers and inventors and creators and all that. So it's so nice to be able to just get together and then celebrate it and then also share it and like uncover it. And then do that with everybody else involved. Like you feel the true community aspect of it. You sit in your room and you play with 6 people most of the time, but when you open that door, it's like, oh no, there's thousands of tables with 6 people on it.
And you get to like touch each one of them in a weird way by like, here's
in a safe and appropriate way.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
You can go around and play duck
over the
duck goose with
interwebs.
everyone.
But what I love about this show too is it's got like from everybody who has the theater background, it feels like putting on a show too. So it's not just everybody coming together to high five and congratulate each other for what we do. It's like, but now we're all working towards this one singular goal. And there's lights, there's costumes, there's sets, there's all these things that like brings in all those theater things that I grew up on and loved and
that to good use.
Now we're putting it to good use. It's true. Yeah, I was back home in Connecticut a couple weeks ago, and I was doing lots of stuff for the show, doing lots of calls and things like that. And I said to my mom, she's like, "Oh God, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm putting on a show." And I was like, "It's kind of like what I did in high school, when I was putting on the shows there, but now just bigger and differenter." But the same thing.
And getting paid to do it.
And getting paid to do it, right? Exactly. But it's the
Even better.
same skills, of inspiring people to all get behind one singular thing. So it's been tons of fun.
Did she know you were calling demons from her house?
She kind of ignores that actually at this point. It's just never talked about.
Well, so far you haven't been possessed, so I think at this point your mom might be like, okay, maybe it's all right.
Yeah, maybe she would surprise you. No?
No?
I'm sure if I actually confronted her or like wanted to talk about it, she would
still think it's...
The judginess would come in immediately. Yeah. My
what
favorite...
I've always wondered is, why don't people have like a Christian campaign? Like all paladins or something. That would be, I don't know. That feels like it would be in the vein of running through a game from the Bible.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it, but if you think about how Jesus told stories to instruct, things about ethics and morals.
Parables.
That's exactly what D&D is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm on board there in spirit, if not in execution.
Yeah.
But my favorite part is when we'll sometimes Skype with our friends, and we had the 2015 had the Rage of Demons campaign, and so we have T-shirts that say Rage of Demons on them, and there was a lot of extra small T-shirts of those left, so I just took them home and gave them to my kids. So we'll Skype with Grandma, and every once in a while they have like Rage of Demons on their T-shirts.
Oh my god, that's awesome!
And my mom just kind of ignores it, doesn't really engage with it,
she
doesn't know that it's
pick
there.
Up fight with you.
But part of me is like,
it's in your house, Mrs. Tito. We left them in your house.
We're beaming into your
This
eyeball.
one time I was in like middle school and somebody had a Ouija board.
Whoa.
And we were at my very Christian friend Teresa's house. And so we were like, let's do this. And it was like moving all around. And then we all just were like, we're out. We got to get out of here. This is too scary. And I remember her like running out of her house going, you can't leave it here. You can't leave because you're supposed to say goodbye and like make the spirit go.
Oh,
and we
if
were
you
like,
don't do that.
whoa. She was like, you can't leave the spirit in my parents' bedroom. Whoa, we're out of here, Teresa. Running down the street.
I love how the Ouija board is basically house rules the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It doesn't make any sense. There's nothing to it. It's just whatever people use it. However they use it is the game.
But you do have to say goodbye to the spirit.
Yeah, you have
do
to.
you?
It's two things. It's learning how to be polite by saying hello and goodbye.
Right.
And
very
it's
important.
made by Hasbro, which is just bizarre to me. The Ouija boards are made by Hasbro.
It's true. Shout out to
See,
Hasbro.
how
I
funny.
would love to talk to that brand
How
manager.
funny is that like I actually, my tolerance for horror, like my tolerance for anything ghost related is incredibly low. But that I play Dungeons and Dragons constantly and it doesn't seem to affect me. But like the most ghost I can watch is Casper.
Oh.
And like that.
That's
that
kind of
is
freaky
still-
though.
Yeah.
Casper the Friendly
Casper's
Ghost.
freaky.
Ghost.
I'm just kidding. But like, yeah, no, I'm with you in that where I'm like, I kind of disengage from horror right away because it's like it's too much. It's too. I don't know what it is. It just immediately makes me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
It's
love
scary.
being a dungeon master, dude.
You
That's
can be
like,
the horror.
Yeah, you
I don't
are the
have to
horror.
Yeah, I can be the horror. I am.
You are what goes
You are
bump in the night.
You are Casper the Friendly Ghost.
You are.
I am.
But back
And all of
to,
the symbols.
back to your story about the dungeon crawls being frightening. There is. I mean, that's the suspense that I think D&D does the best at when you're at so scared, not for you or for any like real terror, but for what your character is going to experience. It's crazy to think about.
Yeah. Just to like one step into it, it's like, whoa, I'm actually experiencing things that like I only maybe experience in that weird part of my dreamscape, like, when I'm right in that REM midpoint. So because it feels just as real as that like strange kind of, cerebral dream state. And so when you're actually able to like experience the emotions and the repercussions of a story like that, or accidentally sending off a trap or walking into the wrong room, it feels as real as life, and that's pretty awesome because I like to be able to experience things that maybe in most worlds you can't, because I grew up in a very boring place and I'm still working through that.
Same. Yep. Tiny little farming town in Washington.
We're all
Yeah,
adventuring way more than we would in our fantasy lives.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think I'm lucky. I had been born and raised in such a quiet place because it made me really like internal and think a lot. And now I get to exercise that, and it's really fun.
Yeah, you don't take it for granted.
Yeah, everything seems kind of magical when you're in a small town because a lot of what you do is rely on your own imagination, especially as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I
You
did
just have to
as
be
a
more
kid.
creative.
Yeah, exactly.
I really wanted to take my go back to when I was back home, I had a free afternoon, and I was like, hey, girls, let's go walk in the woods. That's what I did all the time growing up. I had, a stick I would whittle down, and that would be my sword or my staff or whatever, and we would just explore the woods and create different little scenarios and things like that. And we didn't get that far along, but I like showed them like this stream that I always used to go to and things like that. And and I'm hoping that makes them, because we live in West Seattle, so it's not really like super city, but it is very more urban than where I grew up. So I'm hoping that like instilled that idea of like, you can just go out and explore and make stories wherever you are.
Yeah, there's a lot of good places to go hiking out there too.
Yeah.
Seattle is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous.
I used to remember like getting on my bike in the morning, helmetless, and then like not coming back until like the evening.
Yeah.
By myself, and that was like my most favorite thing to do, is just be by myself.
And then you met that girl who like can move stuff with her mind.
Which was super convenient.
It was very
I was very lazy.
But then some other people came after her, and it was just, too much.
I never saw her again.
Modine.
I don't really know what happened to her.
Dang.
I wonder.
She's got one nose, nostril that's bleeding.
She had chronic nosebleeds.
Her name was Al. It was good stuff.
How do you know?
I watched the show. There's a story about your life that's being dramatized on Netflix right now.
No. Oh, my royalties.
You were the dungeon master in that one, weren't you?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see you again, Rachel, face to face down in Los Angeles, and meet you, Kelly, for the first time for the Stream of Many Eyes. It's gonna be crazy. June 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I can't believe it's so close, and it will be over before we know it. But we'll.
Can we make it longer?
Please
Maybe
don't.
next year. Greg would love that.
All right, let's make it for an entire month next time.
Maybe next year you should do it in upstate New York so we can all go home again.
Yeah, I want to go to Baltimore.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I want to go see Ellicott City.
You know that you could get like, a location really inexpensive.
Maybe a boat. You want to do it on a boat?
Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm from Irondequoit. You can go to Lake Ontario. We can just soar through the Finger Lakes.
Or like the
You're
beautiful
from
Finger
actually
Lakes,
Irondequoit? Really? That's
Yeah, I'm from Irondequoit. Do you know where that is?
that's where my wife lived.
What?
Yeah. When she mentions Rochester, she's like, "Oh yeah, when we lived in Irondequoit."
Oh my God.
That's crazy. This happens to me way more often to her, really, where like just randomly people we meet and no matter they're like they know Rochester or they like had someone or they like actually lived like down the street. Like it's crazy. I think we met someone once who was like they were describing their house and my wife was like, was it on so and so street? And they're like, yeah. How did you know that? And they're like, that was my house. You actually live in my old house.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, that happened.
Weird.
Someone random person we met like 3 or 4 years ago in Seattle, I feel like. So it must have, it was
That
like
is
within 3
weird.
years. How crazy is that?
Crazy.
I know.
When we were doing Tales from the Loop, that's where Kelly said it. She said it in Rochester.
I did.
We had a whole
Putting
day
Rochester on the map.
Yeah.
Making its mark.
Everyone's going to know that's where
Ruin our
stories
beach.
come
That's
from.
totally what it's going to be known for. Sorry, Kodak or whatever.
That's right. My dad, my father-in-law worked at
Isn't that where
Kodak.
That's where it's from.
Yeah.
I know that and their hockey team.
Like
That's
the 1% of listeners who know anything about Rochester are like, yeah, that's
We
right.
have a lot of upstate New York listeners.
It's true. Shout out to upstate New York listeners.
You're there. Shout out to upstate New York.
See,
You're
because
there.
it's
You're there.
quiet. They don't have a lot going on. They watch a lot.
Shout out. All right, no,
Oh yeah.
all right, you guys are awesome. I can't wait to. You're going to meet my wife. She's going to be at the event too, so you guys can trade Rochester stories, which would be amazing.
Yeah.
So those of you
I
want
want to see if I lived in her house too.
maybe it was you.
It's possible.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Maybe you've been to her house.
It could be. So that's going to be awesome. You guys won't be able to watch those conversations happen on twitch.tv/DND, but there will be lots of other
But they'll be
fun,
happening.
amazing stories occurring all that weekend long. So please mark your calendars. June 1st, 4 p.m. Pacific time. It starts then. Host Anna Prosser Robinson will be taking us all around the sets, and then we'll get right into the stories and the amazing dramatic games that will be played. There's going to be a Force Grey episode that night, as well as a Dice Camera action on Friday, and then we kick it all off with even more fun stuff on Saturday. I can't wait. It's going to be great. We're going to be high-fiving pretty much the whole weekend long. We're gonna need some pads, some some
high-fiving.
boxing gloves for high fiving. Someone get on that. Well, thank you guys so much for calling in. It was great to see your faces. I'm so glad this works, and we'll see you in LA very soon.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Fun.
Where can people find out more about you and you personally, as well as Girls Guts Glory, and everything that's going to be happening? Kelly, why don't you go first?
Sure. So like I do a lot of stuff. I actually write for Hasbro and have written for Hasbro. So check out my Little Pony Equestria Girl episodes and my Littlest Pet Shop episodes. So
What?
please, yeah. So please,
know
She's
that.
amazing.
Why didn't we lead with
Bury
that?
the lead, man.
I know, right?
I know, right?
I have seen those episodes.
Hell yeah.
You owe me a Coke,
and-
Rachel, by the way.
Dang it! You didn't say things.
Damn it.
So, ha.
But yeah, I did it on it's on YouTube. I did the Choose Your Own Adventure series, which is really fun. That is also going to be airing, hopefully, I believe, sometime soon. We'll see. And then the Littlest Pet Shop, which is started airing on Discovery Family at noon on Saturdays. My next episode's coming up soon. So keep watching that show if you're into something like Littlest Pet Shop. The animation's great.
isn't?
Yeah,
and
my
and
girls-
it's really good for both adults and kids. So.
My girls
I
love
love
Yeah.
Littlest Pet Shop. I really do.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Oh, I wrote the sleepover. Episode. I
Really?
don't know if they saw that one, but I wrote that
Well, I'm
one.
going to go find it if I haven't.
Yes, please watch it.
We'll cue it up.
And so there's that, and then I also wrote for Final Space, which is currently airing on TBS after American Dad. So check that out. And I do a lot of stuff with Geek and Sundry. Keep your eyes peeled for when I hop on there. I love them and their company and what they do. So keep your eyes on that. And Girls Guts Glory.
Girls Guts Glory's coming back.
Yay.
We'll announce all the dates from that soon, but it will be back this summer.
Yay! Oh, and last but not least, I write musicals too. So keep your eyes on my musicals. I am writing one about Vincent Van Gogh that I worked on for like years and years and years. Anyway, follow me at Kaylin Rock on Twitter. KAHLAN Rock.
That's awesome. Does the Vincent Van Gogh musical have like, a Hamilton-like intro?
That's a really good question. It definitely doesn't, but like I wish it kind of did because I really like.
Right? Like having that
Yeah.
that almost overture-ish type thing that first song does?
Oh man, yeah.
If I was a better lyricist, I would have improv something for you, but I can't.
If Lin-Manuel Miranda, I mean, musicals are my life, and it's so cool to be able to say, like, I'm doing things I like. Remember when you were a kid, Kelly, and you wanted to, like, be in a fantasy world and write musicals and write television animation? You're literally doing all of that right now. Cool.
Yay!
You followed your dreams, and now you're
Making it.
head first in them.
I'm
Love
still
it.
following them. Still following.
I'm tired of following my dreams, so I'm going to
We're hanging it up.
text him and I'll catch him with him
Just
later.
gonna sit
They're
here
so
for a
fast.
minute.
Can't catch
Yeah.
up.
Do it.
Rachel, what about you? What are all the dreams that you're following?
Well,
I have a croissant, and then
let me tell you about how my acting career is going, or not. Let's see. You can find me at Girls Guts Glory, of course. We are coming back in the summer. We are ironing out some last minute kinks, and then we are good to go. And I'm so excited to be back in that. I will periodically be running around Geek and Sundry as normal. Let's see. You can also catch me doing a podcast, which is, sorry for the F-bomb earlier, by the way. My podcast is called Shit Goes Down. It is my my first attempt at DMing. I had never
She's great.
DM'd before.
She's great.
I'm still learning.
we all
as
are.
we go
We all
along.
are.
Yeah. So you can follow that. It updates every Monday, and I actually have to put episode 8 up today. Other than that, I might have a couple more projects coming and going. I don't know. We'll find out. And I'm at Sunny Seeley, Seeley, on Twitter. Come say hello.
We will.
I will.
Nice. That's a lot. That's a lot going on.
Yep.
Both you girls. You got it's now I wish I was busier.
Now I see why it's hard for you guys all to be in the same place at the same time.
Right? Because that's times like 8 for all of them.
Yeah, it is.
Good stuff. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I know it's not. There's so much other stuff going on that it's like it's crazy to get you. So I'm really excited that we got to have this conversation. We're gonna hang out more in June. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, June's gonna be the best. And it's also my birth month, so thanks for the early birthday present, D&D.
Birthday.
I did it. That's what. It's also my birthday month, really. So it's like we can share in
Bart's
birthday
month.
And
Excellent.
Bart's birthday month too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna have birthday cake throughout
Lots
the
of cake.
entire
Yeah.
weekend.
No, let's have one
Dream
big
of
D&D
many
birthday
cakes.
party.
We'll all just like
Please.
jump into it.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
out of it.
Yes.
And then eat all
I'm
the
done.
icing.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm doing
Yep.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. You're awesome. Stream of Many Eyes is coming very soon, and we'll see you then.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Cool. All right. So thank
Fun.
you. They are amazing. I love talking to them because they have so much enthusiasm
They
for
do.
not just D&D, which is great, but for
I
life
like what they're doing.
in general, right?
Good people.
Good peoples.
Yep. Good role models.
We don't,
Get your girls watching Girls Guts Glory.
I know. Yeah. They are ready. I think they're ready. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of fun stuff
For sure, Edna.
that they do. Yeah. For sure, Edna.
For
yeah,
sure.
because she's 7.
Quinn would like it too because it's girls.
Does he like girls?
Oh.
Does he like guts?
Yeah.
Does he like glory?
He does.
Then he is
He's
all in.
in.
He needs all the dice, everything he could possibly need.
Yes.
He'll start dressing up in costume like they do,
Yeah.
and wearing some horns, playing some music.
He'll cosplay.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Learn the recorder.
That's my recorder sound.
That was pretty
I can make any noise with my mouth.
Can you? Let's test.
Go ahead, test me.
Can you make a pigeon?
Oh,
Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. Can you do a hummingbird? Are you guys impressed?
I'm like a Foley artist and I
Can
didn't even know it.
you be microwave dinging?
Bing. That's right. Is that better? I just needed a rehearsal time. I'm blowing out the mics for Brian. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I've been hitting this thing all day. This new setup is weird. My feet keep hitting the table, and I'm sorry. Sorry.
I don't think you're forgiven. Thank you guys for listening to our crazy interviews and all the fun stuff that we have going on here. There is a lot going on at Dungeons & Dragons, so if you are ever confused, go to dungeonsanddragons.com on the web. You can follow it at wizards_D&D on Twitter, or you can like our Facebook page. There is also an Instagram account that will get more and more Instagrams on there.
Oh, it's probably going to go crazy at the stream.
It is going to go crazy at the stream. That's
Follow
right.
it for sure.
Wanted to give a shout out. We talked to her a little bit during the interview itself, but Satine Phoenix, who has joined the Dungeons & Dragons team to help out with all kinds of crazy social,
Including our hair and makeup.
including hair and makeup tips
Yep.
out the wazoo. There's going to be tons of it, but you'll see her and or just her words being posted all over our social media stuff. So look for that and follow her, of course, at Satine Phoenix, as well as all of our fun stuff. So I'm at Greg Tito. Where are you, Shelley?
I'm at Shelly Moo.
Ask us all the questions you could possibly ever want to ask us about Dungeons & Dragons, life, upstate New York, Arundecoit, theater, growing up.
Avalon Hill.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Right?
Yeah, you have a few games coming out.
Yep.
What are those?
Access and Allies and Zombies. And if you're going to be at Origins next month, you can play it. We are going to have it there.
That's right.
I hope.
I'm excited. And a tank. I mean, no tank.
Maybe.
No thank you.
No, thank you. And I'll be there. So come say hi. And also in the fall, we have Betrayal Legacy.
I know. Rob Daviau. Extraordinaire.
Crazy genius.
Yeah. I can't wait for that.
It's so good.
That's gonna
we'll
be really
play,
fun.
right? We're gonna play.
I'm playing right
You gotta
now.
play with the same people.
Right? Have it be like a campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we should do that.
are you in?
Yeah. Let's get Erin involved too. I think she would want to do it. I've been trying to get her into the betrayal
Yeah.
thing, and this might be the way to do it.
And Mr. Eric.
And Mr. Eric. Yeah. We shall
We
make it
have to
happen.
call him Mr. Eric, though.
You guys are really big on the Mr. or Mrs. first name
I've,
thing.
like tried, and it like some people it sticks with. Like,
yeah.
Are you Mr. Greg?
I'm just Banana, I believe.
Banana.
Yeah.
Some people he sticks with the Miss or the Mister, and other people he's just like, nah, that's
Yeah.
Sean.
It's Bob.
Yeah, it's Bob.
It's Ralph.
Yeah.
It's Tony.
Yep.
very fun stuff is coming down, as I was saying, and I think we said all the fun social medias that you should be following to get all the more information. I can't stress enough how awesome the Stream of Many Eyes is going to be. Please mark your calendars for June 1st at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Tell all your friends to watch as much as you can. We'll be putting up all of those videos onto other platforms like YouTube, and you can watch them in the collections on Twitch and things like that. But it's just so much fun to watch live, and we want to get as many people watching it at the same time.
Many eyes.
Yeah, exactly. It was called the Stream of Many Eyes for a reason.
Yes.
Is that the reason? That is the reason
the
why.
exact reason.
So that we have all of the eyes on it as possible. And of course, you'll get to find out about the new Dungeons & Dragons storyline before anyone else is if you're watching live. So
And you can go.
That's right.
If you're there in LA.
Yes, if you're in the Los Angeles area, or if you're able to travel to the Los Angeles area, you can totally do that. Get tickets to watch one of your favorite groups play live in the studio audience. You'll get a tour of all the sets. You'll get some amazing Dungeons & Dragons merchandise that you can't get anywhere else, in addition to being able to buy merchandise you can't really get anywhere else during this event too. So it's going to be super fun. For more information there, go to dnd.wizards.com/SOME and get your tickets before they run out. Dun, dun, dun. That's for Sunday, June 3rd is when the day that you can buy tickets to be there with the public and all of your friends.
Fabulous.
And I'll be there. And you can give me some high fives.
Yeah, that's a reason right there.
That's
to
a reason
go.
right there. I
Meet
know.
Greg Tito.
That's right. But I say that, but, there's one thing that might prevent that, which is rocks fall and everyone dies.